Before starting Wilbur Labs, a startup studio that builds several companies a year, I worked at Google, where I had wanted to work since I was 14. Leaving a job you love is not an easy decision, but for many entrepreneurs, making that leap will become one of the most rewarding decisions in your lifetime. After we launched Wilbur Labs, people I know started reaching out to me with questions like, "I'm thinking about leaving my job to start a new business. How did you do it?" I always tell them there are 4 things you can do while you are still at your current job to prepare. First, plan, plan, plan. The best thing you can do for yourself before starting your own company is to plan. You might hear advice like, just go for it or dive in. This advice is dangerous, and our research supports it. According to a recent study by Wilbur Labs, over 50% of founders have said that not being adequately prepared from the outset was the primary cause of their failure in the end. The top recommendation to other founders was to plan and research more prior to launch. We have seen firsthand how critical the planning and research phase is for a new business. Many of our ideas stay in the lab being researched for months, if not years. Starting a company has inherent risks. Don't add extra risk on top of that by leaving your current job without a plan. Here's what that looks like. Having a plan means that you have conducted extensive research before launching your company. This means talking to industry experts about the problem you're trying to solve and testing your initial ideas with prospective customers. This also means that you have drafted an initial product roadmap, startup checklist, and a financial model before launching. If you are looking for outside investment, this is what investors will be looking for. And even if you are self-funded, these essentials will be critical in determining the long-term viability of your idea. It is difficult to forecast revenue at the beginning, but it's easier to forecast expenses, and that's what's critical to avoiding running out of cash. Finally, make sure that you are financially able to work on your company full-time. This means not only planning to build and scale the business financially, but also planning for your personal finances. You don't want the added burden of personal financial stress while building a company. Don't get me wrong, no plan is perfect, and execution is what builds value. No matter what you plan to build, you will need to evolve and adapt along the way, something we call building the plane as you fly it. However, after starting several companies and interviewing successful founders, it's very clear that starting with a plan is always better than starting with no plan. Building a business might be your dream, but it takes a tremendous amount of grit, determination, and hard work to succeed. This is not a glamorous undertaking, at least not at first. Throughout your journey, you will have to spend time on tasks not related to your core business. This includes setting up payroll, choosing health insurance, building up IT infrastructure, staying compliant, and many other things that you are not an expert in. Don't reinvent the wheel. Others have done this before you, and you can learn from them. Talk to established founders or business owners about their day-to-day work before you launch your company and listen to their recommendations. Understand what the first 12 months will look like and how you can build the right teams and infrastructure from day one. Thinking through this in advance will exponentially help you transition through the first year. Learning from past experience of others lets you focus on the problems unique to your business. Trust me, there will be enough of those. Third, don't burn bridges. It's a small world, and the network at your current job can provide an essential support system. Your current teammates and managers may well become allies, advisors, hires, customers, and investors in the end, if you leave with grace and tact. Leaving a job to start a company can bring a wave of loneliness, and burning bridges makes that even worse. Leaving in a professional and graceful way will only help you in the future. 4, passion. Not every passion can become a company, but every great company was started with passion. As I mentioned earlier, starting a company is not a glamorous undertaking. You will work long hours, run into roadblocks, and find yourself struggling with challenges you had no idea were coming. Knowing what you are passionate about well ahead of time is essential to building a healthy and resilient company. There will be many times that you feel like quitting. You'll have sleepless nights and you'll feel burnt out well before you see a payday. I always tell founders that they should be prepared to spend the next 5 to 10 years building their company, genuinely caring about what you are working on and building something that you are passionate about will help you get through those initial years and stick with it as you build over the long term. In the long run, most businesses fail, but if you start with a plan, a willingness to learn from others, a supportive network, and an idea you are passionate about, your chances of success will greatly improve.